Hey guys, we are back for Bandcamp Dailies number 47. You may have noticed that I already have my popcorn, so I'm going to try and do this quickly. I never do it quickly, but I thought, hey, let's try and do this actually quickly. We have a bunch of listens today. We have 13 listens today, and they're all from the Self-Inflicted Memory Loss album from 2016. We've done multiple videos on this, so we are going to do yet another one. And since I really don't have to do much of an intro, we'll just go straight into it. I thought I'd make my popcorn first. So let's go to the page. Some of these we've already done a video on, some of them we haven't. So I believe we have 6 songs that we're going to be looking at. I have them written on a text file to my right, which you can't see. It's under my super hot face. I am so hot. And so here we go. I'll give a little bit of an intro, just a reminder of what this album's all about. This is from Self-Inflicted Memory Loss from 2016. This album is free jazz. It's a free jazz album, freestyle. It is, none of the instruments know what each other is doing. It is completely randomized as well. And it is totally nonsensical, incoherent. It is extremely intense and insane. And you should definitely love it as much as I love it. I know it's not possible, but I absolutely love this album. It's a very fun album. And so I always like listening to it. And so what we're going to do, just like with all the other videos we've done about this, we are going to start off with listening to the 6 songs on Bandcamp, and then we're going to move over to Reaper. We are going to isolate the instruments. We're going to listen to each guitar track and each drums track alone, because like I mentioned, it's all randomly arranged and nonsensical and incoherent. It's hard to hear what everything is doing. And so by isolating the instruments, we'll be able to get a little bit more better idea of what's going on. Improvised, I forgot to mention. It's completely improvised, randomly arranged, etc., etc., etc. And then after doing the isolated instruments, we are going to listen to the lyrics, or not listen. We're going to read the lyrics along with the songs. Now, the interest we're not doing it initially because there are no lyrics published. I've never published the lyrics. I've only been publishing the lyrics in this video series. So it's kind of interesting. The reason they weren't published is because the lyrics are very stupid. They're very dumb. They're very juvenile and immature. They're at times offensive. And I always have to check before we do one of these videos. I have to reread the lyrics because I don't remember them. I had to do lyrics for 99 songs. There are 99 songs in this album. And so I had to try and write 99 songs worth of lyrics really quickly. And I came up with these really inappropriate lyrics. And I forgot about them. I don't know what they say. I don't know what the songs say generally. Some of the lines I do remember, but generally I don't remember what any of the lyrics are. And so every time I do one of these videos, I have to reread the lyrics to make sure that they're appropriate enough to show on this video series. I think there was one song where I still felt like, okay, I don't want to show this. And so I did look at these songs and the lyrics for these songs, and they passed the test. They are very inappropriate and stupid and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There was something else I wanted to say, but I forget. Oh yeah, they're very sexual. Pretty much almost every single song is extremely sexual. So there's definitely a theme for Saturday night date night. Lots of sexuality going on, I suppose. So let's get straight to it. My popcorn is still nice and warm. Okay, so the songs we are listening to are, I should have left it on the previous page, but what we're doing, I Gotta Go, and then we're going to track 40, Sack, then 45, Okay, and then 48, Stupid Bitch, and then 49, White People from Connecticut, and then 51, Boobiddybop. Okay, so let's get right to it. This is I Gotta Go.
40 to 30, the 20, the 10, I touchdown! We won! Woo! Told you it was a good morning. Yeah. What I'm talking about, baby? Where you going?
I gotta go.
Okay, so I forgot about the samples. There's a sample before every single song. I recorded the samples off of, I recorded audio from my TV, like 2 hours worth of audio, me changing the channels. And then I went through the 2 hours and tried to pick out 100 samples. I actually picked out like over 100. And so some of them I didn't end up using. And I tried to pick the top 99. And so this one, I got to go. This was from a sitcom, a black sitcom. So like, I don't remember what it was called. It used to come on this channel called Bounce. It's a channel that I get. It's marketed towards the African American ilk. It's like BET, but it's called Bounce. Anyway, I really don't remember what it was called, but this was a sample from that. The guy is obviously, so it's two guys watching football, I guess. One guy seems to be super into it. And then I think I did a little bit of an edit in this, but the other guy ended up having to go. And I thought that was very funny because the one guy was just uninterested and he said he had to go. I thought that was funny. We're going to listen to this. Is, I think, one of the longest samples on the album. You can see the song's 34 seconds. And very rarely is it over 30 seconds. Here's a 30 seconds. The very last song is 44, but that's like a really, really long sample. Yeah, this might be the second longest sample on the entire album. So that is noteworthy. So we're just going to listen to the whole thing again.
40, 30, 20, the 10, a touchdown! We won! Woo! Told you it was a good morning. Yeah. What I'm talking about, baby. Where we going?
You could say I gotta go.
All right, good stuff. That's all the songs are very fast. Most all the songs are very fast paced. Very intense song. Now we're going to Sack. This is a notable song as well, in the sense that my snare wires disabled themselves while I was recording the drums on this song. So I was, on a snare drum, there are snares underneath the drum, and that's how it gives it that sound that snare drums have. And then there's like a lever that if you tighten the lever and it engages the snare wires and it brings the snare wires up against your bottom skin. And then if you disengage the snare wires, it loosens them, and then now it's not hitting the bottom skin anymore, and you don't get that snare sound anymore. And so when I was recording drums for this song, I think I hit the lever with my stick accidentally, because as you may have noticed, I'm just like being extremely random and screwing around on drums. And so I accidentally hit the lever there, disengaged the snare. I had to stop playing very briefly and to re-engage the snare wires, and then I continued with the song. So that happens occasionally. So let's listen to Sack.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack back and forth to attract a female, and maybe she'll mate with him and stay with him.
Okay. Now, very interesting sample there. Now, you may think sack, maybe it sort of sounds like the guy's describing a scrotum, like something sexual, but that's not true at all. This is like a nature show. This was some type of educational nature show. This guy was talking about a bird who had a sack, I think under his beak or something. And that's what he was saying. He would show off the sack and try to woo a fellow female bird. But it's hilarious when you listen to it out of context, because it sounds dirty. And so that's why I used this sample.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack back and forth to attract a female, and maybe she'll mate with him and stay with him.
Did you hear how the snares change sounds? don't know if you know, if you could notice it or not, but then I stopped playing drums because I had to re-engage the snare wires. At the very end there, you can hear I'm still singing. And the reason for that is because, so I actually wrote lyrics to sort of go along with the songs. The songs were just completely improvised and randomly arranged. They had no structure, but the lyrics had somewhat of a structure, I guess. Maybe not. I think I just wrote lyrics and then I just tried to say them in the span of however long the song was. I think each song is, music-wise, it's like 20 seconds. And in this case, I was very far behind. So I had to like say the last line or the last two lines very quickly. And the music had already stopped. So that was kind of funny. So it's another notable part of that song. So let's go to OK.
Okay.
Okay, so that sample, that is from a cooking show. It's New Scandinavian Cooking. So that would come on PBS, I believe. And so there were two hosts for that show. There was a guy and then there was a girl. This is the girl, obviously. They weren't on the show at the same time. They were on at separate times. And I'm trying to think here. What is it?
Okay.
It's funny. She says that very very funnily. But I remember that episode because I think she went to some type of place where they like cut up fish and stuff, and so she was with this guy who works there, and he was going to show her how to do it. And there's another sample later on in the album of the same episode, and I think that this is from the same episode, so it had to do with fish or something like that.
Okay.
There's going to be some good guitar on that one. When we isolate the instruments, I'm doing a lot of pick scraping and noise stuff. So that's going to be a really fun one to listen to. All right, so now we're doing Stupid Bitch.
You stupid bitch.
Okay, so that sample is from Canada's Worst Driver. This girl, his name is Marguerite. She's very hot. And there are multiple samples from her on this album. And so I don't know if I don't know where this show originated from, this type of show, Canada's Worst Driver. So it's sort of like a reality show. A bunch of people would get, I think I've talked about this already, but a bunch of people would be chosen by their friends or loved ones if they were bad drivers, and they would go on the show, and every week they would have to do various tests and challenges, and whoever performed the best got to leave. And so they weren't crowned Canada's Worst Driver. And some of these challenges were quite tricky, obviously, but they were really cool. It's like, I wish I could do that, and because they were really interesting. You had to do various tests and stuff like that. It seemed like it'd be fun. And then whoever performed the worst on the show at the very end, I think their license would get cut up. I think that was the idea. That was the gimmick. So you definitely did not want to be crowned Canada's Worst Driver. This girl, I'm trying to think here. I don't really remember the context of what was going on. Obviously, she was doing one of the challenges. She was not doing very well, and she was getting angry. She used to swear a lot, this Marguerite girl.
You stupid bitch.
All right, good stuff. And now we are doing white people from Connecticut. I guess I didn't really have to pause that. So let's go right into it.
Well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling.
All right, so that's a very funny sample. There are multiple samples from this. This is a TV movie, Canadian TV movie. I still don't know what it was called. I've talked about it before. It's this girl takes over like this wrestling gym. And so all the guys at the gym, they're all, gruff and whatever. And the girl, she's a girl. And so she's the new boss. And the girl's mother is like a big snooty, highfalutin type of lady. And does she talk in this?
Well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling.
No, I believe that guy is her husband or her boyfriend or something like that. The mother's husband or boyfriend. You can hear how he sounds. So that's sort of the type of people that her mother is. So there's the plot of the movie. I forget. I haven't seen the whole movie, but that's the gist of it. I still don't know what it's called. I tried searching for what the title of the movie is, but I was unsuccessful. All right. Now, if you're listening to this and you're thinking to yourself, this music is absolutely horrible. It's all the same. How is this even listenable? Well, joke's on you. I love this album. And if you listen to it enough, you can hear the differences in each song. And so I used to listen to this every single day when I would pop it on when I make my pizza. And I would know what song was coming up, various parts of each song. It's hard to memorize like every single thing because everything's doing something different, but there are parts that stand out. And yeah. So, but I understand if you think it's unlistenable. I mean, it's definitely understandable if that's how you feel. All right. So last one, we have Boobiddybop. Okay, we've heard this. This sample is from a show that so other songs that we've talked about already have featured samples from this show. So this is a band, like a live band. I think this is like a kids show. When I was scrolling through the channels, flipping through the channels, there was a whole variety of different TV shows that came on. One of them, I think it must have been on the weekend because there was also a bunch of religious shows. This was a religious show, but I believe it was also like a kids' religious show. And this band was playing. And I think that's it. So this is from that band. All right, let's listen. The drumming on this song is quite boring, actually. Not a whole lot going on. They tried to do really fast-paced stuff for 99 tracks. So occasionally I would have a little slower-paced drum song. But yeah. Okay, so there you go. There's all the songs. Let's go into Reaper. And let's do some isolation-ing. So we have to go to 35. You can see there are 100. 35, here we go. I'm glad I wrote the numbers down over here. All right, let's turn off the grid. Can we zoom in a little bit? That was a little too much. And that was a little too much. I guess we can't. This is the best we can do. All right, 35. This is I Gotta Go. So, okay, I guess we have to isolate the instruments then. So we'll do the drums. Okay, also I have to center the guitars. Okay. All right, so this is the drums for I Gotta Go. Good one. I like that one. Lots of, I miss playing drums like that. I haven't played drums in over a year. Or guitar, because of my wrist. I miss playing drums like that. Playing drums like that is so fun. Okay, I think we're going to switch it up, because it's really annoying having to solo and unsolo all the stuff. So we're just going to do all the drums first. So let's do that. So let's go to 40 now. This is the one... Yeah, this is cool, because this is the one where my snares disengage mid-song. So this is sack. You can definitely hear it there, right? You can hear, like, if you know what a snare drum sounds like, the sound totally changed. And then I had to stop playing, re-engage the snares, and then continue playing. I sort of slowed down a little prematurely there at the end. I thought it was getting close to the end, and I didn't get my cue yet. So there's like a metronome up here. It's a count in and a count out. I don't know if I've shown that before. Oh, whatever. I'll do it after. All right, so let's go to OK. This is the one with the Swedish girl. That was a really good one. I really like that one. Meanwhile, you're probably thinking to yourself, that was exactly the same as the previous one. But it's not. Okay, let's go to Stupid Bitch. This is one with Marguerite. All right. That was passable. And, oh, once again, I didn't have to stop it. We could have just went to the next song. This is 49. This is White People from Connecticut. Yeah, so my philosophy for what I was trying to do, my goal for this, for when I was recording drums, is try to be random, but I also want it to be very, very intense and very fast. So that's what I had in mind whenever I do drums like this. And then 51, this is Boobiddybop. Oh, this is a slow-paced one, so this is going to be horrible. Isolating the drums with these slow-paced ones it makes the drums sound better than with the full song. Probably because the guitars are still trying to be all intense and stuff, whereas the drums are like slow. But I remember doing that with a song in another video. It had slow drums like this on this album, and they sounded better when the drums were alone. So, all right, so there you go. There are the drums. Now let's unsolo this. I'll just show you what I'm talking about with the metronome. Okay, so when I would go to record, and you may have noticed that all the instruments start and stop at the same time. And the way I did that was I have like this metronome wave file up here that I created. And so it just has a count in, and then it has a count out. And then in between, it's just silence. So the count in is so I know when to start. I think it does 4 clicks. And then everything starts. And then towards the end, it does a count out, like it does a count again, 4 counts. And then on the 5th, I stop everything. So there you go. That's how you do all of that. That's how you keep everything in sync. Now, I thought I would love to play something like this live. Obviously, you couldn't play it exactly note for note unless you wanted to memorize this, but that would be stupid. So just like improvise, play a version of this, all improvised, but make all of the musicians who are playing, give them headphones, and they're all listening to this metronome song, so that they have the click, the count in and the count out. That way they can all start at the same time and end at the same time. Either a metronome or one of the musicians can sort of be like a conductor. They could signal when everyone's supposed to start and stop. But I think I really like this version better, because it seems like everyone just knows what they're doing at the very beginning and at the very end. Meanwhile, the middle, like the entire music portion, is just absolutely nonsense. So I thought this would be really fun to play live as well, but I've never done it before. Obviously, I would need more musicians than just me. So maybe one day. All right, so now we're going to do the left guitar. Well, we'll do it song by song. So we'll keep switching between left and right guitars. Okay, so here is 35, right? So this is I Gotta Go. I don't think I've heard that before. Part of that, when I think of the song, because I mentioned this before, because each guitar is doing something totally different. Sometimes when you're listening, like if you listen to the song multiple times, maybe even once, one of the guitars sort of stands out more than the other. Sometimes the guitars like switch. One guitar will stand out, and then a couple seconds later, the other guitar will stand out, depending on what they're playing. And it's sort of, that's when you think of the song, of how the song goes, you're sort of picturing one of the guitars. And then sometimes both guitars create this melody and then that's what I think about when I hear the guitars. This seems like that, because parts of this sound like how I think the song is, but I'm interested in hearing what the other guitar is playing, because I can't picture what it's playing. Yeah, okay, this sounds like the song. All right, there you go. All right, so let's go over to Sack. So one of these songs has some really good noise stuff going on. I forget which song it is. I think it's this one. So 40. Well, that was very normal. That was a cool riff. I like that riff. That type of chord, that's the chord that I would definitely use in my written music. So I understand why I played that. You know, one thing that I think would be really cool is to go through all these isolated tracks, try to pick out some good melodies and sort of build a song around it. Instead of it being completely improvised and random, sort of write a song using those melodies. This would be a cool melody for that. Now, obviously that was pretty normal. So I don't know if the next track is going to have the noisy stuff that I was hearing, or if that's even this song. I don't know. All right, obviously it's not this song. Beginning of this one was very death metal oriented. And then we had some chords in the second half of the song. All right, so let's go over to OK. This is probably what it is. Okay. I just said okay. I said the title of the song. Wow, this is really strange. This sounds just like the guitar, just like the left guitar on the previous song. Wow. It's got the same type of thing with the chord, picking each individual string, and then it does the palm mutes in between. It's kind of strange. Okay, that track was all over the place. This definitely is a song, by the way. With the next guitar track we're going to listen to is the one with all of the noisy stuff. So I'm really looking forward to hearing this. Okay, that is just so good. Does it sound like I've been playing guitar for 30 years? I guess back then it wasn't 30 years. I had been playing guitar for 21 years back then. Oh my God, this was 2016? This is almost 10 years ago. This is crazy. That's insane. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people when they listen to music like this, they don't think that you know what you're doing. I post like free jazz stuff on like a lot of my YouTube shorts. I post one every day, and it's like clips from my free jazz music, mostly because I have a bunch of videos from those songs. And you know, obviously I'm an experienced musician. I've written a lot of music before, and I've been playing for a long time. But when you make free jazz, people don't think that you know what you're doing. They think that you're trying to make like a normal song, and you're so bad at your instrument that they think that you're so bad at your instrument that you don't know how to play in time, and you don't know how to make like a melody. They think you're that stupid that you don't know how to write a normal song. So whenever people make these sorts of comments on my YouTube shorts, it's just funny because they're like, this is horrible. And they think I don't know what I'm doing. It's just hilarious. But this is the point. It's not supposed to sound like normal music. Okay. But yeah, I was about to listen to it again. Okay, so let's listen to Stupid Bitch now. Yes, Stupid Bitch. There's another artificial pinch harmonic that I didn't hear in this guitar track. So I'm assuming it's on the next one, but it's kind of funny because there's a bunch of artificial pinch harmonics in here. And yet the other guitar has pinch harmonics as well. It's kind of fitting, I guess. Lots of pinch harmonics going on there. All right, so let's go to the next track. So that was 48, so 49, White People from Connecticut. It got super heavy over here. All right. Let's listen to the other guitar. Very fast paced. That would definitely, I mean, that guitar right there, that would be a song. Like a grindcore song. All right, so I still do have some popcorn. Oh, we have one song left. So this is Boobiddybop. can tell based on this guitar at the very end, the 3 last notes, I know what song comes after. It's the Fjords one. Dramatic Fjords, 51. So 52 should be Dramatic Fjords. Yeah, Dramatic Fjords, because I can picture the sample. So whenever I hear those 3 notes, I know what song's coming up next. All right, so let's listen to the last guitar track. That's really strange because when I think of this song, I think of this guitar track, the entire thing, all the way up until the last 3 notes, which I think of the other guitar track, and then I know that this song's coming up next, the Dramatic Fjords song. So it's kind of funny. All right, so there we go. There are your isolated instruments. So how far into the video are we so far? We are 41 minutes. Wasn't I trying to make like a quick video? What the hell is wrong with me? Oh my God. Oh, here's here are the lyrics. Okay, so let's do the lyrics now. What happened to this? I don't know what happened to this. So let's bring up the lyrics. And okay, so we got I Gotta Go. So here are the lyrics once again. By the way, spoiler alert, they're very sexual. I've already said that already. Very inappropriate, very juvenile, immature, etc., etc., etc. So read at your own risk. All right, so let's listen.
40, the 30, the 20, the 10, I touchdown! We won! Woo! Told you it was a good morning. Yeah. What I'm talking about, baby. Where we going?
I gotta go.
Rubbing my cheek against the pubic fuzz. That sounds like fun. All right, so let's scroll down to the next one. All right, so this is sack.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack back and forth to attract a female, and maybe she'll mate with him and stay with him.
I like how I reference, sometimes in these songs in the lyrics, I reference what happens in the song, like when I was recording the music. I think that's funny.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack back and forth to attract a female, and maybe she'll mate with him and stay with him.
Oh my God. I didn't know this last line was this line. I didn't know this last line was the one that happened after the music stopped. The music stopped and I still hadn't said this line yet. And it's the balls in the armpit line. This is hilarious. I talked about this in my, I think, objectifying women video. How whenever I see like a girl's shaved armpit, I always have this thought of like dipping my scrotum inside her armpit and like resting it in there like as if the armpit was a cup holder for like an egg holder. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you get a hard boiled egg or something and you stick it in that little thing, whatever that thing is. I don't know why I get this thought. The thought comes into my head of like dipping my scrotum inside the armpit. But apparently I thought of doing that all the way back in 2016. So apparently this has been part of my life for quite a while. So when I read this earlier today, when I screened these lyrics, it made me laugh really hard. And then I realized that this is the line that occurs after the music had already stopped. And I had to say it so quickly. It's really funny to me.
He raises his head up and he moves his sack. He raises his head up and he...
Oh my God. Okay, so let's go to the next one. That is some good stuff right there. Okay. Okay, so this is okay.
Okay.
All right. This is just hilarious. Okay. All right, so let's go to, I can't see it. 48, stupid bitch.
You stupid bitch.
Okay, these lyrics went places. I was brought to some type of scenario that sounded pretty good to me. All right, so let's go to White People from Connecticut. Oh, first I have to scroll down.
Well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling.
Oh, God. That is some good stuff right there. Darling. Because the guy says darling at the beginning in the sample. He's, well, we are white people from Connecticut, darling. Oh, good God. So what's next? Boobiddybop. This is the last one. Okay. Okay, we're almost done. All right, there you have it. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time.